There comes a point where the noise finally fades, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop reacting to everything around you. You stop chasing validation. You stop waiting for permission. You stop explaining your pain to people who never listened anyway. This is not the beginning of your journey. This is the moment you realize how far you have already come. You have lived through days where effort felt invisible, nights where silence felt heavier than words, moments where you questioned whether continuing even made sense. You did not quit, you adapted. You became quieter, stronger, more selective with your energy. This phase is misunderstood. People think silence means weakness. They think distance means failure. They think discipline without celebration is pointless. They are wrong. Silence is where strength consolidates. Distance is where clarity forms. Discipline without applause is where real power is built. You are no longer driven by urgency. You are driven by intention. You do not rush because you know rushing leads to mistakes. You do not chase attention because attention never gave you peace. You move deliberately now, calmly, with awareness. Loneliness still appears, but it no longer scares you. You understand it differently. Loneliness is not punishment. It is space. Space to think clearly. Space to reset standards. Space to rebuild yourself without interference. You begin to notice how much of your exhaustion came from carrying expectations that were never yours, from proving yourself to people who benefited from your doubt, from explaining your vision to minds that could not see beyond comfort. That weight starts to fall away. You stop overextending. You stop rescuing. You stop sacrificing your future for temporary approval. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. Self-respect changes your posture. It changes how you speak. It changes what you tolerate. You no longer negotiate with disrespect. You no longer compromise your standards to avoid discomfort. You would rather be alone than misaligned. Discipline deepens here, not loud discipline, not dramatic discipline, quiet discipline. The kind that shows up early and leaves late. The kind that keeps promises when no one is watching. The kind that does not announce itself. You stop relying on motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. You build systems instead of chasing feelings. You understand that consistency is more powerful than intensity. Some days feel empty. That is normal. Growth is not always emotional. Most of the time, it is repetitive, ordinary, unremarkable. That is why most people abandon it. You do not. You understand that boredom is often a sign of alignment. You are no longer distracted by chaos. You are no longer addicted to struggle. You are building something stable. Stability does not feel exciting, but it lasts. You begin to trust yourself again. Not because life is perfect, but because you know you can handle what comes. You have proven it to yourself quietly over time. That trust creates calm. Calm allows you to see clearly. You stop exaggerating problems. You stop dramatizing setbacks. You stop turning challenges into identities. A problem becomes a task. A setback becomes information. Failure becomes feedback. This mindset is rare. You no longer seek to be understood. You seek to be aligned. Alignment gives you peace. Peace gives you endurance. Endurance gives you an edge. People may not notice the work you are doing. They may underestimate you. They may think you have slowed down. Let them. You are not racing them. You are building beyond them. Your standards rise quietly. You expect more from yourself now, not in a harsh way, but in an honest way. You know when you are capable of more, and you no longer lie to yourself. You correct gently. You refocus quickly. You move on. This is emotional maturity. You stop punishing yourself for mistakes. You stop celebrating excuses. You take responsibility without self-destruction. Responsibility is freedom. When you own your choices, you own your direction. When you own your direction, you stop feeling lost. You may still feel tired, but it is a clean tiredness, the kind that comes from effort with purpose, not confusion, not chaos. Purpose. Purpose stabilizes discipline. You are no longer chasing outcomes alone. You are becoming someone who can sustain them. Sustainability is power. Anyone can perform briefly. Few can endure. Endurance is built in silence, in repetition, in restraint. You stop reacting to every opinion. You stop absorbing every emotion. You learn when to engage and when to withdraw. Energy becomes sacred. You protect it. This is why your circle gets smaller. Not because you are better, but because you are clearer. You know what drains you. You know what strengthens you. You choose accordingly. Choosing is not easy. It requires letting go. Letting go feels uncomfortable at first, but clarity follows. With clarity comes confidence. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that does not need validation. The kind that does not explain itself. The kind that stands firm under pressure. Pressure reveals preparation. You are prepared because you stayed disciplined when it was boring, when it was lonely, when it felt pointless. It was never pointless. You were building capacity. You were building identity. You were building a mindset that cannot be shaken by noise or delay. This is the phase where life starts responding differently. Not because you demand it, but because you move differently. You are steady, grounded, intentional. You no longer fear silence. You use it. You no longer fear being alone. You trust yourself. You no longer fear being underestimated. You understand the advantage of being unnoticed. Quiet success is coming together, not overnight, not dramatically, but permanently. And when results arrive, they will not change you. They will confirm who you already became. That is the difference.